you have an interesting item. I've never seen it before. It's a lens. It's an
system.
All-purpose lens system. So if you have a Minolta,
yes.
If you we're talking about before the autofocus.
Yes.
If you have Canon FD,
you got it.
How about Pentax?
Which one?
The
ES, K, Super A.
K 1000.
All three.
Nikon?
ES, K, Super A. Nikon, you betcha.
And how does that work? How can that lens fit on all?
This was the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, and there are three of these. So just before everybody races out and buys these,
Tamron.
But actually, what started this whole thing was I got a call from the FPP's personal bodyguard, Carlos Zamora, and he asked me my opinion on I need a wide angle and I need a short telephoto. What do you recommend for my Olympus, and what do you recommend for my Canon? Well, you know what? One lens does it all.
That's awesome.
Which is fantastic. But this is the era of the manual focus. So the Tamron lens will fit the Canon FD, the FT, odd things like Fujica, AX Bayonet, Konica, Leica R4s, Mamiya ZEs, Minolta MDs and SRs, Olympus OMs, Prakticas. Voigtlanders. Of course, they have a universal 42 thread, and they also had a C mount for CCTV.
Is 42 a screw-in mount?
Yes.
M42.
M42, as well as the Super A, the K, and the ES for Pentax. So they had them all. So they started off with their Adaptomatic line, then Adaptall, but I'm going to talk about Adaptall 2s.
Okay.
They're the newest, most engineering, but they're the one that started, and a lot of you are familiar with T-mounts.
Yes.
They're the company that started the T-mount, this was actually threaded, and then you would put a T-mount on the back to fit your equipment. Yeah. But there was no interaction between the meter and your camera or anything else. Basically, just a lens stop-down metering, that type of thing. So if you're going to go out and hunt these out, you're going to look for an Adaptall 2. And it's nice because they make a 17 millimeter. And let's face it, a lot of the listeners here have more than one camera system.
Yeah, you want a 17, yeah.
You got a 17, and you can put it on your Minolta, you can put it on your Canon, you can put it on your Nikon.
Jeez.
One lens, the mounts run $10 maybe.
Nothing.
And this was fantastic for dealers because I could put 117 on the shelf, but I could handle maybe 18 people that came in different cameras because I just carry all the mounts.
When you worked retail, you sold these?
Oh, we did. And
you were confident about it, so you were happy about selling it.
Extremely. And not only was I confident about them, they were about themselves. They did a 6-year warranty. But Tamron was so well respected for their optics and their construction that they made lenses for other people, such as Sony, Canon.
Yes.
Made some of their exotic lenses, their fast lenses. They did some of these neat primes. And
I'm sorry, when you say they made lenses for Canon,
yes.
Did they make lenses and they got branded Canon?
Yes, they did. Canon turned their specs in, so it was spec properly, and they went through because it's difficult on these big, expensive lenses to gear up your manufacturing for them. Why not just go to a lens manufacturer that is already doing this, and here's your specs.
Smart, Joey.
It's very smart. The trickiest part, they always used to make me do this because it seemed like I was the only one that could do this, but was changing the mount. There's a couple little silver pins on here. It's kind of like all in the wrist thing.
Show us the goods. Let's see.
Pops off.
Oh, changing the mount.
And there it is. There's the lens without, and there's the mount. The trickiest part is there's green dots, line them up.
You don't have to take anything else apart, do you?
That's it. No, this is it. This is how the mount comes. This is how the lens comes. It would come with a back cap, and that's it.
How much of you said the mounts themselves?
The mounts, sometimes they can't give them away. People, so it's neat. I keep a little assortment in the shop, and I test anything out.
What is that? What mount is that?
This happens to be the probably the Nikon.
Okay.
Nikon, yeah. Couple Olympuses around, definitely the Canons and a few, but it's like mounting this onto a camera. You have to line it up in the right place and turn it. And their thing is the lens needs to be wide open. In this case, it's a 2.5. Once you line them up, you turn it. There's some keys with slots. If you don't get them in, you just slide them into where they belong. That's it. You're set. You put it on, it's done. So a lot of people would put this mount on because back in the day you had one camera system typically that you stuck with, and you'd never even know that this came off.
If you had one camera system and you really just wanted it for, let's say, your Canon FD,
sure.
Was the actual lens and mount cheaper than buying a Canon 17 millimeter?
Not necessarily, because these were such high end. lenses. It was not always like that. So
because a 17 millimeter prime lens is sort of a specialty lens.
yes, it is.
They're not cheap.
No.
It's a
In
nice
fact,
lens
if you
to
look
have.
at one today, they run between $350 and $400 for a
Wow.
Tamron 17. Isn't that wild? This is a great way for me to have a 24
I was gonna say,
millimeter.
one of my personal favorites is a 24 millimeter.
And there it is.
Yeah, you ever shoot
24.
with 24? They're
No.
nice.
Yeah, I don't shoot with a lot of wide angles.
24.
Yeah.
I love
That's a good
I love
flashlight.
wides.
You're gonna put the Tamron on the Nikon,
I am. Yes.
Nice.
Just for John to look at.
just for sheesh and giggles.
You
Yeah.
got it. You got it. If I can find the proper. There
Ooh,
we go.
look at that.
Oh, my little tag fell off, but that's an F2 Photomic.
F2.
There you go. But it's people are, I think, a little afraid of it because sometimes they're sold with the mount that comes on it, and you think, I don't need a Praktica mount, but I want that lens. So you just buy a mount you want.
Doesn't Nikon need that little tab that pushes the?
No, that's cool. That you got it. That's great.
That's on there.
It does everything it needs to do.
What about the older Nikon that need that? See that tip?
Actually, I think you can buy the mounts with them.
Okay.
Yes.
It's lovely.
I sold them. I sold them with confidence because they were excellent lenses.
Whoa.
And I hate to tell you how many years I worked retail. I never sent one in for repair. And then,
they
of
have a-
course,
they have a-
autofocus came in, and they're very smart and very
So
respectable.
satisfying to look through that viewfinder. Isn't it a wonderful viewfinder?
That's 100% view.
That's a Nikon F2.
2, yes.
That's a 24 millimeter lens.
Yes.
Sweet.
It is sweet. And they're, like I say, people are a little, they'll say,
Ooh, but that 24 on the bay is coming with a Praktica mount, and I need a Nikon mount.
you buy it because nobody else wants the Praktica mount. You get it for nothing, and then you simply buy the Adaptall 2 mount for what you need. And most of them are still in the box. There's a little paper in there on how to change them, but once you get it, it's perfect. If it's a problem, you just go online, Google it, learn how to change it.
The Google.
Just a very smart lens system and respectable, excellent optics. Can't say enough. They're really very good.
Yeah, and
Such
they
a
still
smart
make
system.
optics. They still
make
great,
them.
They still make great lenses for your autofocus film and digital cameras.
Yes.
That still at a fantastic price too. I personally shoot with their 70 to 200
Do you?
f2.8 because it's $1,100 to $1,500 cheaper than the Canon and Nikon version, depending.
That's substantial.
That's a whole nother lens. That's
And
a
then,
new
you know,
body.
you'll see these little
Half
words on the
year's worth
side
of
says
film.
BBAR, which is broadband,
For you.
anti-reflection coating.
So if I
for
wanted,
round one,
if I
smart
wanted
ones.
to look at Tamron,
Yep. Tamron, 24 mm.
no, a Tamron. If I want to look up the one that has the that one,
Yes,
Tamron, I got it in
Yep.
there.
Show me this lens, Michael
24
Rosser said.
mm.
24 mm.
And then I would put the word Adaptall.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to get all their new glass.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that.
Adaptall.
And Tamron still has one of the better warranties.
Yes,
out
they
there
do.
on
They're
their
10 now, aren't they?
lenses. 5.
Ooh.
Oh, are they?
I think they're 5.
Tamron 24 millimeter f2.5
Yep.
2.5
Five.
Adaptall 2 for Nikon AIS.
How much?
Nice. $80.
Not bad.
$16.90 shipping.
Oh, that's rude.
24 millimeter 2.5 Nikon AIS mount, digital and film. Adaptall 2, $109.
See, you can do better. But well, it's a 24. They did just a
Oh,
little
look
bit
at
of
this.
it.
Oh, it's the
straight. They
case.
did straight 28s. They did a lot of prime lenses when people did, and everything had to be zoom.
It's funny because now they don't make so many primes. They're about
Exactly.
the zooms now.
They're about the zooms. Zooms, you know, used to be like this. They come in,
Oh, zooms are
and the first time they came in with their new 7210 zoom, and the lens was this long. It's just like.
Fascinating. What?
I didn't like my boss, but I still ran in. Look at this!
Look at the size
Look
of it.
at the size of it.
That is the $80 is the least expensive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
All the
it's-
other ones are 139,
So they're pretty sought after.
44.
They do hold their value. They make a fantastic 500 millimeter cat lens,
Meow.
and it's this big.
Oh, is it a mirror lens?
It's a mirror
That's
lens.
why, yeah.
Yes, and they do the 2x, the matching 2x's, which
Whenever you see a long telephoto lens that's like not long itself, you're like, oh yeah, it's a mirror.
Here we go.
You
yes,
know it's a
got
mirror
little
lens. Yeah.
in the center.
Tamron 17 millimeter f3.5 Adaptall 2 covers full frame.
$200.
No.
$350.
Yeah, yeah.
Oof, they're all 350.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Oh, I'm sorry. This one's 349.
Oh, there you go. There's a deal there.
Are people using these for digital cameras?
Yes.
Yes.
Especially the Nikon, because Nikon's mount has never changed.
Exactly.
You can always mount. Now, not all the cameras, if they're autofocus, will be able to autofocus it. But
Right.
for video, they don't care about that. They want a nice smooth ring to do focus pull on.
And typically,
filmic.
every Adaptall 2 was at least a 22, f22.
Oh, great.
They tried to do them in 32s if they could.
So you shut off a few of the lenses, but that's about it. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, look,
Easy way to handle that. You got a couple, and one lens does it all. So there you go, Carlos. That's my answer. You want a
You're so
wide angle, get a
popular.
28. Want a tele, you can get a straight 135 portrait.
Carlos was asking.
Oh, and they make an incredible 90 millimeter. That's expensive.
Oh,
Because I do
portrait
believe their
lens.
90 millimeter was flat field, flat focus. No curvature, very flat. And that's another one that brings big bucks today. So
Okay.
lovely lineup from Tamron Lenses.
Thank you very much, Leslie.
Certainly.
What is that?
Going to hit the rickety road.
Sorry.